good morning, which is kind of unusual. Normally it's good afternoon.
Yeah, yes, it is still morning.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, too early. Wait a minute. Okay. Oh, it is. Okay.
Okay then. Well, welcome to From the Second Row. I'm Brenda Rozzi.
I'm Rich Russell, troublemaker, TIA extraordinaire.
Yes, but we're going to keep you posted on what's going on in the city for tomorrow night.
Whether you like it or not.
City council meeting tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like I said, I will do the unadvisory. We are not going pursuant to Chapter 20 of the Acts of 22.
Okay. Whatever. Yeah. So, anyway, so we're not doing all that.
Yeah.
They shouldn't even be there anymore. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, again, we got
right.
a bunch of wimps that are running the government, wokies.
No, they don't want you.
It is what it is.
Right.
Normal stuff at the beginning. The roll call, moment of silence. I wish they would continue the moment of silence through the meeting. That would be a big improvement.
Only some people, though.
Yeah.
Only some people.
The Pledge of Allegiance. And then they want to approve minutes for December 3rd, December 17th.
And then your niche is public participation.
Well, Mr. Marley.
Mr. Marley's always first.
Yes.
Right. He's always first.
Okay.
Now, public hearings, we have a few. 15-minute parking at 294 Prospect Street, which is Gomez Market, and I believe that's at the corner of Prospect and East Haverhill Street.
Yeah, it's across the street from DAV.
The DAV, right.
That's a horror show place anyway.
Oh, there's no parking. There is no parking. I remember having to go to meetings at the DAV. It was ridiculous because you could never find parking. And then
let's see, we have a handicap parking at 23 Forest Street. We have handicap parking 18 Fulton Street. Handicap parking at 120 High Street. And handicap parking at 128 Hancock Street.
I have to before we go on, I have to admit, who is it Lieutenant Pangiatakis, Sergeant Pangiatakis, who's doing the thing? I really like the way he's doing it, and it makes it easier. And he's explaining why they're saying no, why they're saying yes. I think I really, hope he stays for a while.
I see every person that comes into it is going to do something, and they've seen it in the past, and I'm not saying that the ones in the past were doing it wrong, but they're just trying to improve the process.
Right, and I think they really are, because you can at least understand it more, and he's explaining why when someone says they want this and they're saying no, you can't.
Yeah.
At least whatever. And then it looks like we're going to have. They've already got public hearings scheduled for February 18th, so that's going to be interesting.
Yeah. Ooh, that's
a bunch of them. A bunch of them. All Officer Pangiatakis. Yeah.
Irving's. There's one there that. That one amazes me. They want to make Irving Street one way from Hampshire to Saratoga.
Well, see what they say. There
are, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, no, let's go through matters pending a public hearing. Things that should be done but aren't going to be done.
Well, we're talking from 22, 21, 22, 22, 23.
Well, the last one, 42923, they are actively working on that.
Right, exactly. And I think that's a done deal. I think that will be going on. Yeah, that's a done.
Based on what I saw.
Yeah, but yeah.
Okay, let's see. This is one, now we go into the anticipated for...
February 18th.
For the 18th, yes. Ordinance, right turn only for vehicles exiting businesses between Durso and Chickering Street. That means you can only turn right to head east on 114.
Right.
Which is something that should have been done a long time ago.
Oh, yeah.
Although I don't hear that many accidents down there.
No.
But it's preventative, let's put it that way.
Yes. Yeah. Handicap parking in Belmont, 177, 179 BLE, 25 Boyd. I mean,
44 Perry, 46 Kendall.
Kendall.
Oh my God.
Goes on. I know.
48 Sanders Street.
Thank God it's not. Thank God it's not this week. Can you imagine if it was this week? We'd be bringing our pajamas.
If you go into the meeting, if you go into the council meeting on February 18th, bring a pillow.
And a blanket.
Yes, and a blanket. Let's see,
plenty of
Saunders
coffee, stay
Street,
away.
Garden Street, Oxford Street, Milton Street, Prospect,
two on Prospect.
Inman, 514 Haverhill Street.
Irene Street.
Irene, Wendell.
And then the
We get the interesting
probationary period.
proposed ordinance probationary period.
And then to install 2 JL poles on Lowell Street near Amesbury. I'm assuming that's anticipation of making Amesbury Street 2 ways.
For those that didn't listen to the last couple of meetings, from the second row, JO is jointly owned poles, which means there's multiple utilities on them.
Right. And let's see. Communication from mayor, city officials, and city attorney. The 2025 State of the City Address, given by Mayor Brian DePena.
Thank you for announcing that one, because you know how I would say. Kevin White style.
Want to do your Kevin White?
No, I can't. No, I don't want anybody
And
to.
now we're going to discuss strategy for litigation, Wage Claim Act. I don't know what that's about, but executive session anticipated.
I hope when they go into these executive sessions,
They do it at the end of the night.
they find an executive.
Yeah.
That would be nice.
Well, do it at the end of the night.
Yeah.
Why should we? Oh, well, whatever.
Okay, budget and finance. $170,000 from various accounts to child care circuit. Okay.
$30,000 Project Safe Neighborhood Initiative, Police Department, not a problem.
I got no. A few dollars under $300,000 from the Shannon Grant for the Executive Office, Public Safety and Security.
Not a problem.
No issue there. Let's see.
$37,490 for the Edward Byrne Justice
Isn't
Association.
the Burn Fund where we got the money for the canines?
Possibly,
I
I
think
believe
we
so.
did.
Yeah.
But that's a.
But isn't Edward Burns? Wasn't he kooky on Hawaii Five-0? Was it Hawaii Five? Which is the one? Remember?
No, that was Kooky. He was on
I figure it was 77 Sunset Trail.
Yeah.
Okay.
In fact, I hear that song about once a day because I listen. TV
Yeah.
sucks.
I know. Tell me about it.
I listen to 5:30, the
Yeah.
oldies.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that one pops up quite frequently. And Connie Stevens singing in the background.
Right.
Okay.
That. Okay. Then $5,000 for mini grant for opioid stimulant and substance use program. Police department also not a problem. No housing.
No report. Well,
So that's a
let's
good thing.
see. Ordinance. They want to make Orchard Street one way.
It's going to be withdrawn though, because they said no.
Oh,
Sergeant
okay.
Ben-
All right.
Chagas, okay. No parking Canton Street on the right side. They're going to order a public hearing.
That right side. That's the side that our friend that shares my birthday lives on Canton Street. Richard.
Okay. Oh, okay.
He lives on the right-hand side of
Oh,
the street.
did not know that. Okay.
Four-way stop at the intersection of Genesee and Madison Street.
That's going to be withdrawn.
That one.
Because there's no traffic. There's no traffic there. No parking Shattuck Street between 8 and 5. Order a public hearing.
The
High Street at
Stop sign.
Highland Avenue. That's the top of the hill from
that's pending
yeah.
DPW approval.
Right. And they said they were supposed to have that was supposed to come in before they just decide on it.
Again, here's another one pending DPW approval. Stop sign at Jefferson and Mount Vernon.
That really well. You know what? Yeah, because people pulling out from Jefferson.
Well, it isn't so much people pulling out of Jefferson, it's people flying up and down Mount Vernon.
Yeah, well, that's, yeah.
Handicap parking. 359 Lawrence Street.
71 Farley Street, those are the public hearing. No parking anytime on Water Street from Ames to Doyle. Public hearing.
That's the south side. That would be the side that the water
Right.
treatment place is.
Right.
Let's see, 17 Butler Street.
Okay. 111A Chester Street. That's my street. I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the one that's got those.
It's like duplexes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's plenty of parking there. But let's see, we got 248 Salem Street.
Order of public hearing.
Okay.
30 Wells Street. Order of public
Where's
hearing.
Wells Street?
I don't.
Oh, that's up in. Well, it's Greg put it in, so
Must be in his
it's got to
area.
be up in District C somewhere.
Yeah. 143 Parker Street. Order of public hearing. No parking Brookfield Street between Kenneth and Lennox, both sides. The order of public hearing. And then approved layout and alteration plan for a portion of Glen Street. I remember Dan McCarthy talking about that, Glen Beacon around that, they're gonna narrow.
Yeah,
Yeah, I remember hearing him talk about that.
going back to Brookfield Street one, between Kenneth and Lennox. Does Brookfield Street narrow down real big time up there?
I think so.
Oh, well, there's something else there that really. Oh, I got to
Which
be
one?
careful how I say it.
Which one?
On the Brookfield Street.
Ah.
There is no city engineer. I don't care what anybody
I
says.
know, we have acting city engineer.
Okay.
Personnel committee.
Appointment of Dan McCarthy as planning director.
It's about time.
I don't know what.
It should have happened 4 years ago.
I don't know what made the senior advisor to Mayor DePina see the light. And let's see.
Yeah. And confirm Sadie, Liz, Camillo, Perdomo to the zoning board. They need someone on the zoning board because they're down to, I think, 4 people.
Yeah.
And they need more.
Okay. The public is safe because there's nothing to report.
Enough thing. Now we have old business. Appropriate $300,000 of ARPA free cash
Don't even mention
for
ARPA.
public and neighborhood safety funds to Lawrence Prospera. What is that? Gotta find out what that is. Improved tax increment finance agreement between Esperanza Academy, Nunes LLC, and the city of Lawrence. That's a TIF.
Yeah.
So
Okay, we got a bunch of old table
Table
matters
matters.
going back to 2014.
but yeah, that we probably, I don't know why they just don't take them off. I don't know.
I thought that Councilor LaPlante had introduced something when he was council president to kind of try to clear the boards.
Yeah, I don't know. Now we have new business. Reviews.
Well, wait a minute.
What?
I'd like to see 44423 come back up, but again, that's
444.
it's a year and a half ago.
Oh.
That was, of all people, Anna Levy and Greg Del Rosario, but that was
Order
retabled.
public hearing and then was retabled.
Yeah,
What? Yeah. So I don't know.
it's still there.
It's still there.
I would
Right.
like to see it.
Yeah.
Again, I speak from experience of being in the
So
doing the voting. Nobody objected to me asking for an ID for the purpose not to identify whether they were legal or not, but to identify their name on the voting list.
Right.
Speaking of the voting list, I got the latest voting list last week. It's 43,000 names on it.
Wow.
I said, I went in and inquired. I says, We had more than that on the voting lists for the election, and I was told that they did a mass purge after the national election, and they got rid of about 6,000 names.
Wow. Now, how can they? I thought they couldn't do that. Okay.
And sarcastically I said, are they going to send the cemetery workers to go through the cemetery to find new voters? Come on, you don't throw lines like that at me.
I know. There was one other one too. Yeah, like they're just going to start stuff like ridiculous.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now we'll get to new business.
Okay.
They're going to review the city's towing list.
Well,
Criteria and procedures.
okay, requesting LPD and DPW to participate, which makes sense. I mean,
Again,
now we go back. Handicap parking at 33 Bruce Street, and another one at 19 Exchange Street.
Yeah, let's see. They want to remove handicap parking, 57 Bigelow, 39 East Haverhill, 67 Farnham Street.
And then we have proposed ordinance
Okay.
2.56.160, clinician.
It sounds like it's
Under Board of Health?
yeah.
Or Inspectional Services?
Yeah.
Okay. And then the next one is confirm appointment of Pamela Gunnell, Assistant Commissioner of Health and Code Services.
And it was put in there by Carol Garcia, Acting Personnel Director.
Right.
We have so many people acting as directors.
Yeah.
We could make a movie.
Yeah, I know. The thing is, do you remember when they were going to, there was someone that came to City Hall, they had a big thing, they were going to do some big sandwich or some big thing. Remember that time a few years ago, like whatever. I think that was her husband that was going to do that.
Let's see. Authority to expend $35,000 for the Department of Fire Service Safety Equipment
Not a
grant.
problem.
No problem. Brian wants it. There's a good reason.
Yeah. And appropriation transfer $100,000 from airport account to new project account for mandated safety easements for the airport, Francisco Urena. Not a problem.
Issuance of a grant assurance and authority to expend $361,190 Mass Dot Aeronautic Division grant.
Francisco Urena, you got it. Authority to spend $125,215 housing choice grant from EOHLC, planning grant for Reviviendo Gateway, Dan McCarthy, acting planning director. Hopefully by the time this comes on to goes into budget and finance, he won't be acting, he will be the planning director.
Yeah. Let's see. Okay, $130,000 housing choice grant from, again, the same.
Yeah, from McGovern Transportation.
Same old McDonald Farm people. For the McGovern Transportation Center.
Yeah, Corridor.
I mean, that thing's falling apart already. I mean, they just built it, 15 years ago? Sloppy concrete work.
Opioid settlement funds update, Modelo application development. Okay.
Is that what's his face's
I don't know.
niece? The pregnancy tracking?
Possibly. I don't know.
Modelo?
I don't
I
know.
think it is. But again, we can't say too much about that.
No. Merger of a portion of Bay State Road with city-owned land under MGLC 40, Section 15 for the future development of a recreational park. We've already discussed that. That's Bay State Road.
Yeah.
Whatever.
And again, the next one down is
The rezoning.
rezoning that stuff, Bay State Road.
Right.
All right.
So this is tomorrow night, 7 o'clock. If you want to come, see the city council meeting. But then we have something on Wednesday night.
Oh, Tuesday night. We still haven't finished with that. We do have the mayor, supposedly, by city charter. He is supposed to make his State of the City address. I got to be careful.
I know,
I
I know.
love Kevin White.
I know.
God
I know.
knows it.
I know.
He will be making his State of the City. This
He
is
will.
by city charter.
Right. Right.
First meeting in February. But
Right.
memory serves me right. He skipped over one.
The first one he did, I believe it was Frank Bonet that read it.
I don't
Was
know
it
who-
Frank
I don't
or
know who
someone-
gave-
whatever.
I don't know who gave-
But then
but-
the next one he didn't, and I think Nestor gave it. The next one. So
The thing is, it's worded, the mayor personally gives.
And was it last year? Was it in English and in Spanish? I believe so. Yes.
Bring
Yes.
your serapes to wrap around you.
So yeah, that was. I think last year was English and in Spanish.
Yeah. But again,
So-
that's the biggie tomorrow night.
Right. Hopefully.
Hopefully, yes.
Yeah.
And let's see, and then on Wednesday night, again, we go through the same thing: roll call,
Yep.
silence,
7 o'clock,
pledge,
yep.
public participation. You get a double dose of.
I'm surprised. Well, I guess it's
You
public.
get a double dose of Molly and Russell.
If Mr. Molly shows up.
Don't worry, I put a bug in his ear. He doesn't miss a treat. He loves the microphone.
And it's the review and discussion of the October 2024 Bennett Report and related investigations. And that probably looks like it might go into executive session, which I don't know why, because everyone has read the Bennett Report. Everyone has read the Maverick Report. What does it have to go in executive session?
I know.
We all know about these reports. It's nothing new. It's it's not like, oh my God, it's something. We've all read it.
I made a stupid mistake. I downloaded the Maverick Report from the Valley Patriot site, and it was the unredacted.
And
Okay?
that is like.
Okay, I stupidly did not save it.
Okay.
I came back to look at it. The publisher of the Valley Patriot had pulled it down, and when he pulled it down, it removed it from my computer.
Right.
Because what they show in the Bennett report, they had unredacted in
Yeah.
the Maverick
Right,
report.
Right.
And
It was listing the officers' names,
yeah,
addresses, phone numbers.
the whole 9 yards.
you
I
know.
mean, the,
But we were both there for the Bennett Report. We were both there when Tim Hooton came right out and said, "I don't have it. We don't have it yet. We're expecting. We don't have it yet." That same night, it was printed. So how can the city not have it, but yet the Valley Patriot has it? I'm sorry. That was just wrong. That was wrong.
In all fairness, and Brenda has heard my thought process, and I'm pretty sure she agrees with me. I have to admit, I have a brother that's a lawyer. He's trained me well in what I say in libel and slander.
Right.
So I have to keep my mouth shut.
Right.
But I can make a connection as to how it was made.
And we all can make a connection.
Yeah.
We've been saying right along.
And it brings in a lot of outside issues at the same time.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
If you read the report very well,
All you have to know is like.
you know the parties.
You know the parties. If you know the parties, you're all set.
You got the answer.
Yeah, you got the answer.
answer.
Right.
Yeah, but
And I
again-
think, and I think the fact that like Tim Hooton kept saying right along, we don't have it, yet you go home and there it is on your computer. I'm like, what? So it makes him look like a liar and a damn fool, which, is, I'm sorry, but that's wrong. And when it was printed, everything should have been taken out. None of those should have been left in.
I know it. And for somebody to believe that, look what I found on my front door.
Yeah, okay. It's just, it's sad. It's sad. It is really sad that this is what supposedly, and it was printed. And a lot of people had read it by the time, because it was out, out all night.
Now, that brings us to another issue, tangential to those two reports. The Citizens Advisory Selection Committee for the police chief.
Right.
Okay, I will admit, I submitted an application.
Right. I know quite a few who submitted. But they didn't get on
We
that.
don't know how many people submitted applications. I know of two other people. I'm not going to mention any names.
Right.
One of them did get selected. One of them didn't get selected like I did.
Yep.
Now, my own comment is, and I don't know why they ignore an old time senior citizen with snow on the roof, because the snow on the roof here doesn't mean there's frostbite on the brain.
I know.
You know, and they seem to think it's that way.
Well, that's how they want it to look. That's how they
As
want
you
it
look,
to. Yeah.
you look at the names on the list. There is one city employee.
Yep.
There is another one. Is he still on the licensing board?
Yep.
That donated $500 to the mayor at the end of October.
Mm-hmm.
When the mayor had his big fundraiser.
Right.
He was selected.
Mm-hmm. A couple of others we don't know who they are.
There were 7 people selected. There was one Anglo. Now people are going to say I'm going to be racist by what I'm going to say. 1 out of 7. I'm not going to argue the point. That's as close as you can get to approximating the ethnicity of
The city of Lawrence.
Lawrence. 80% Hispanic, 20%
Right,
Anglo. Okay,
right,
I got no
right.
issue with one person.
Right.
But for somebody to donate $500 and miraculously find himself on the board,
That's sad.
if I had donated $750, could I have gotten on the board?
Possibly. Possibly.
I don't think so.
No.
It would have been a waste of $750.
Yeah, that's very true. That's
But
very
again,
true.
I look at it,
Yeah.
and then we find out when everything was being laid out on the in last fall, the police were supposed to have.
A say in it.
Guess what?
They're not.
No police.
Nope.
You know, I mean,
I know, unless they figured the one person was a
does
former
that-
police officer, but has been out for how long?
Does that kind of, is that a slap in the face to the police that
Mm-hmm.
were going after the then acting provisional
Whatever.
police chief, who was a good political ally of several people on the 3rd floor of 200 Uncommon Street? It kind of makes you wonder,
Well.
about it. I look at it and thank God we still have freedom of speech.
Yeah.
But
So, it's sad because, like you said, did they pick the city employee so relatives will, that's the
I didn't
and
bring that one up. I'm not touching
I know,
that one.
I know, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, I know.
So, so and so. Okay, so well, yeah, we'll vote. Yeah, no, that's it's not right. It shouldn't be a city employee. It should be totally people who are not on boards, who are not city employees. Should be totally separate.
You quite frankly, you screwed us on the school committee.
Oh.
What you're going to do? The three citizens. It isn't going to be you, me, and somebody else. It's going to be somebody that has experience in law, education, and finance.
Well, those are the 3 that the mayor can pick. There's also 3 that are going to run. So, but so I don't know. Is it going to be, will Jonathan run? Will Lenny Rowe run? Will Myra run? We don't know. We don't know who's going to run. Will Pat Mariano run? We don't know who's going to run. I don't know. So you sit there saying, well, you hope that it would be someone who already knows about the school committee, who already knows what's going on, that they would end up running. But then you don't know. And then the 3, will the lawyer who is already on school committee, will she get picked to be on the new board that they're going to make? I already know who the teacher's going to be. That's a given. I already know that. So what's the other one? Finance?
Law, education, finance.
Finance, I don't know. I don't know. And what happens? Okay, so what happens if we get a new mayor and they said, I don't want this. I don't want this. Do we have to go through the whole room petition again?
Yep. And again, like I pointed out before, the title of that law that was passed was change of school committee once the Lawrence school system comes out of receivership. Nowhere in the body of that bill says anything. It says anything at all about coming out of receivership. The bottom line says this becomes effective immediately on signature above the governor. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't come up with my next comment.
Yeah, I know.
You know where my mind goes on that, something like that.
Yeah. No, it's get out of receivership. When do we think we're getting out of receivership?
And then to have several politicians, when I bring up the fact that, what was it, Holyoke came? Oh, that's different dynamics out there. No, different dynamics.
No, it's not.
No. And again, what happened up in Haverhill 5 or 6 years ago when they went from an at large to a district,
right?
And everything seems to be working good up there.
You turn around and you want something good for the city, but then I don't understand why they do these things, and you shake your head saying, what good is it for the city? It's not.
It's not. They don't care about the city. They care about themselves.
Fortunately, this is an election year. It's going to be interesting to see how everything all plays out. I don't know.
Put silver bracelets upon their wrists. Make them Lawrence worse.
But you can't say that about everyone. There are.
No, I know you can't.
There are people who listen. There are people who are doing things.
Yeah.
And that's the good thing about it. That they're doing what they're listening to their constituents. They're not doing what someone else is telling them. They're listening when And I'm very lucky because if I have something, I do not hesitate to call Stephanie and say, hey, look this is this. What do you know?
Well, one thing that has impressed me over the past several months is the city attorney breaking away from or getting off his leash, or the leash that he was on.
Yeah.
And he is, I won't say he's naming names.
But he's not, he's
not going to be the fall guy.
No, and he does, and he's, you feel bad. You feel bad for him.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I just look at it, and I look at how many people are in position of power in this government that don't live in this community.
Yeah.
Senior advisor, don't live here. I mean, nothing against the city attorney. He doesn't live here.
Right. The second attorney doesn't live here, I don't believe.
It can be said that the mayor is a commuting mayor.
The chief of staff doesn't live here.
Yeah, true.
Mark Iannello never lived here.
Let's see.
But thank God for Mark when he came, at the time.
You have Eileen lives here. Alexi lives here.
Teresa lives here.
Richard Rodriguez lives here.
Right.
Does the new VSO live in, or is he?
I don't know. I never really met him.
He's a decent guy.
I've never really met him. You know, like I said, I shook hands with him once, you know, at Veterans Day or something.
He isn't.
Yeah.
He isn't the. How can I say this? He isn't the drill sergeant type that Jamie was. Okay. He doesn't have that dominant personality, a domineering personality.
Right.
But I mean, he gets the job done. He knows what he's got to do.
And speaking of Jamie, he's over doing the ROTC at Lawrence High School. Because everyone I have dealt with has left. You know, Ronan retired.
Yeah.
This one went to and two of them went closer to home. So there's just Jamie and someone else. You know.
I'm trying to think who else now. Let me see. Let's see. Is Susan DeGardi left?
I
know she was going to leave.
I don't know. That I don't know. I don't know if she
I know.
left
I
or
had
not.
talked to her a couple months ago.
Yeah.
And,
more than a couple months. And she was,
and,
she was going to retire. I don't know.
I don't even want to talk about the city engineer because we don't have one.
Inspection Services, I don't think Pat Ruiz lives local. Peter Blanchett does. He lives in Lawrence.
Does he live local or does he live in Haverhill?
He lives in Haverhill, I
Yeah.
believe. He used to. I don't know if he still does or not. That I don't know.
If I check OCPF records and I see a couple of different addresses.
You know.
Let's see, Melix lives here.
Yes. Moriarty.
Some of the Moriarty lives in Haverhill.
Right.
I'm trying to
See,
think.
my whole thing is police and fire. I don't care.
Police, I have no issue with them
Yeah.
living where they want to live for a variety of safety
Right,
reasons.
exactly. And the same thing for firefighters too. Well, you know, but we're getting more of the firefighters living in Lawrence,
Yeah.
which I think is a great thing. You know, but like I said, we don't have, like I said, police officers. That does not bother me at all.
No.
Does not bother me at all.
I mean,
Because
police officers, they also have other safety devices. They are not, if they don't want to be, they're not on the voting list.
right, which is fine.
Yeah, I got no issue with that at all.
Not at all. And we do have a lot of police officers that live in Lawrence, but you know, I don't want to know where they live.
What's his say? The CAFO. He lived up in Newburyport.
Yeah,
The former CAFO.
former capital. Yep.
God knows where the rest of them live. It might be another. Might be a request time for me to.
Didn't you get one of those before though? We haven't played. Yeah.
I did it. I did it on the.
Oh, and before I forget, if you've got your census, fill out your census.
Yeah, I got
did.
mine out there. I got to drop off.
I'll mail mine. Well, yeah, maybe I'll drop it off tomorrow. Although I don't. Yeah. I'll just put.
If you're a veteran, make sure the veteran box is checked.
Exactly.
Although it doesn't do any good, the public can't get a hold of it.
Okay.
The last time I got a list of veterans was 7 years ago, 2017.
Now, how they just not giving out?
They changed. Billy Galvin, he decided to change the rules.
Why? You think veteran? You know? Well,
I don't know.
Yeah,
I really don't know.
Yeah, we kind of like have to kind of, you know, but just fill out your census. You know, that way. You know, I know. Like I said, I filled mine out. Got that
because
done.
the census is one of the criteria for you being active or inactive on the voting list.
Right.
If you want to vote, and we know everybody's going to want to vote more than once probably for some people, you got to fill it out.
You got to fill it out.
Otherwise, they're going to make you jump through all kinds of hoops. I mean, I've been part of the voting process for several elections, and it's a pain in the ass. I'll be honest.
It is.
Yeah. We got a thick notebook that covers all the criteria, all the different things.
Yeah, like I said, it's I can't believe this. It's already February. 2 more months, you can start. People can start pulling papers.
Yeah,
to run. So it's going to happen. It's going to
First part of 2 months from now.
Yeah.
Just
Could be
don't.
an interesting voting year, I think. See who's going to run, who's not going to run. See who's going to. It'll be interesting. Like I said, the one thing I don't like the fact that they've changed school committee is I can't vote who I want
For the school.
for school committee.
Yeah, I know. I know.
And that's sad. That's sad.
As I've said before, one man, one vote. Not one mayor, 4 votes or whatever. However it works out.
Yeah.
But again, that's progress,
Yeah. And now when was the thing for the 90 days for Bonilla? That's going to be coming up to an end soon.
That's something I would like to see somebody put on the agenda that give them no more than 2 90-day terms consecutively.
Yeah. Because this is kind of, it's always a couple months ago, so it's got to be coming up on the end.
Well, they're probably thinking with the big brouhaha that's going on with what's going on. Oh my God. Did I get enough what's going on in there? They're thinking that's just going to kind of slide right by.
No, it shouldn't slide right by. We need to, like I said,
But
it'll be interesting to see, because I remember when Dan Rivera had his his State of the Cities, every single department head was mandated to come. They had to show up. They had to be there.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be interesting to see how many people show up tomorrow night for the State of the City. And hopefully.
Yeah, well, again, I hope there's a good turnout, because I'm going to start asking a couple of embarrassing questions, like, is 78 days acceptable for a public record request to be responded to?
No. Way too long. I thought it was only supposed to be, 10 days?
They say 10 days to respond, but I turn it in, they print out a sheet, they give me a copy of what I turned in, they staple it together, and then the next day I get by email that is being processed. Now, is that within the 10-day response, or is the 10-day response supposed to be for what I requested?
I don't know.
It's rather vague.
Yeah.
Again, wait, you got to remember, everything looks good, but you got to remember, these things were written by politicians for politicians.
Right. Yeah.
So, I just look at it and I say, well, we'll see what happens. But again, I know a few of the people that are going to be there, and I'll literally embarrass the hell out of them. I don't care.
Yeah.
Never done it, never bothered to stop me from before from calling it like it is.
Yeah.
And I mean, they, quite frankly, they've put me in kind of a strange situation. If I decide to run again, how do I campaign? No Facebook page.
Right. Yeah.
They fix me good.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. And I'm trying to think, what else was I going to mention? Something. I can't remember what the other one was.
Yeah.
Something probably equally revolting.
Like I said, people just need to start listening more, start acting more, starting to be more active in the city.
Yeah.
If you don't like something, public participation.
Yep.
2.5 minutes.
Yeah. Yep.
Just to say what you don't like.
Yeah.
What you don't.
Right now, you've got how many active neighborhood associations? Yeah, yours is the most active.
There's mine. There's Tower Hill. Prospect Hill, and Colonial Heights. There's 4.
2. Yours and Prospect. The Tower Hills.
Well, hopefully we can get hers.
Yeah,
out.
I know. I'd like
and
to
Colonial,
see.
Sue, I mean, Colonial Heights. I can't tell you the last time I was at a meeting, but I know that she's still active doing stuff. We are, LNAP's going to start doing more. We are going to do the Easter Bunny breakfast again, to bring that back, because that's something we have not. And we've already hooked up with Station 8, so I want them to come, because they're phenomenal. Oh my God. They need to be going to every single school in this city, and not just this city, but any city. Because what these firemen, when the open house, now you saw them at the open house, just watching them, and the kids are so engrossed with, when they talk about, firefighters and the uniforms and different things. It was like the kids were having a blast.
And the old saying is, you never know what to expect out of a kid's mouth. That's
right.
That's the way they learn.
Exactly.
It may sound like a stupid question to us,
but these. They're phenomenal, and I said to Keith, one of the first things I want to do is I want to be able to get Station 8 there, so they can interact with the kids.
Yeah.
Because that's how the kids are learning.
Yep.
That's how these kids are learning about the fire department.
Yeah.
Maybe the police department should do one.
City Hall should do one called Section 8.
I'm sitting there thinking, okay, what police officer doing something like, oh my God. But it's true. These little kids, they don't know, and they're telling them about fire safety. They're telling them about, but they're doing it in a way that relates to these kids. Yeah. And they were just, phenomenal, totally phenomenal. So like I said, that's why I said when we went to the breakfast, the firefighters' breakfast, and they were all there. I'm like, Station 8, can you we'll be there. I said, okay, So I said, yeah, we want to do that. And then I have a meeting tomorrow night for the fireworks, even though this is February. But we got to start doing now. You
don't wait until 2 weeks before the 4th of July to line up everything for the fireworks.
No, and we we need to start now. We need to send out letters now, because this way, if money can start coming in sooner, that'd be a lot better for us.
Yeah.
But then there's. We were going to do a St. Patrick's Day parade, but that just fell through the wayside.
That's by the boards this year.
It was just too many things happening, and it just, people who could help ended up being sick or something. So we just said, you know what? We have the money. We'll just start. We'll start in September to work. For whatever. But we're trying to get things back into the city. We just have to, start getting back to normal. I think, different things that we've done. National Night Out. I wouldn't be opposed to doing it just one big night, like on the Tuesday night of doing all the neighborhoods together over at South Common or someplace, and just, having different neighborhood associations having tables to say, hey, where you from? Okay, you're my neighborhood.
That would make a lot of sense, but again.
And I think, because we really do, we need to grow. I mean, Tower Hill has been kind of,
it's one step above dormant.
Yeah, and I really wish we should get more people going. I know she's having a meeting at the end of March.
Again, who wants to go now that Nikki isn't there anymore?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I know, but Nick should still come. I mean,
he has no roots left here.
And we're trying to do another block party up on Tower Hill, probably in June.
Yeah.
Hopefully a little bit warmer.
Just to do something for the end of school.
Yeah, probably around there. Yeah, and then so like I said, we're trying to get things, do different things, which I think hopefully will get more people involved. But people can come and go out of the neighborhoods, and like I said, Mount Vernon used to be huge, but then towards the end they were less and less.
Yeah.
And now. It's not even there anymore because no one wants to work it. No one wants to volunteer. No one wants to do anything.
Well, it was running good. Why did they decide to not run anymore? Well, because
COVID
they've
hit.
been running it for so damn long.
COVID hit. Katie Dowan now spends a lot of her time in Wyndham because that's eventually where she's going to be.
Yeah.
And then the other people are all sick, so they can't help. So it's hard, So we've gotten a lot of their members, which has worked out well for us. Well, I
mean, yours and Mount Vernon basically do overlap.
Right. Right. But Mount Vernon only used to do it 3 times a year. I used to do it. We used to do January, February, March, April, May, June, stop July and August, and continue back up in September. Now we only do it 4 times a year. So I've picked the 4 months. We do March, and we have, and we serve dinner. So March will be corned beef and cabbage. We do June right before summer. So that's like the hot hamburgers and hot dogs. And in September,
you don't have to tell me, I've been there.
I know. And then September is like the comfort food, the American chop suey type thing. And then December we do lasagna. It's our Christmas holiday one. So so they're doing it 4 times a year. And it's when we came back after COVID, Officer Cuddy had said, "Could you just do it?" I said, "Sure, not a problem. I don't know, whatever is best for all of you." And that. How it came out.
As long as you people want to be involved, you tell us what is more convenient for you.
Right. I do miss the comedy team.
Yeah.
But whatever. But like I said, so this is what we end up. In South Common, they used to be over at the Reliefs, but Sharon's not doing well, so she comes to mind when she can. Someone was supposed to start one up. I don't know what's happening there, if that's even going to happen. So there's, like I said, there's
I mean, where if everything goes through well with the Reliefs in, where are they going to meet?
Well, there's still going to be Reliefs in, but it's not going to be whatever.
Yeah, it is big.
Yeah, right. But District A started up again, which is nice. The Prospect Hill Neighborhood Association. And her last meeting, there was close to 80 people. Yeah. So, and I guess she's going to do another one in March, I believe. Yeah. So, good for them.
Yeah, because I know when she did her, Federlina did her Christmas party up there at the park.
Right.
Cold.
Well, yeah.
Cold.
I can. Yeah. Well,
Cold. Yes.
Yeah.
She had about 75 people show up.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was. A good
I think she wants to do it again at the Possum, which makes sense. If she can do it. It's nice because it got that back going.
Again, I look at her using the Potham. That could be a double-edged sword because we know she doesn't drink the mayor's Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
And we know who runs the school system, the mayor's choice.
But there's no other places. That's the sad part. There's no other places to have it up in that area.
All they got to say is no.
Yeah.
I'll say you're going to pay the overtime for the janitors.
But the janitors are there at night anyway. Well, no, because the janitors do. They work nights.
Yeah. But again, it's a case of.
I know. But you know what? Hopefully, she can have it there. I mean, because even her first meeting, she had how many people at the DAV? It's like, oh my God, it was horrible. It was so cramped, so crowded, But there's no places big enough up on Tower Hill, I don't think.
That's probably the reason you want to keep the same guy as in that position, because you don't need his work history repeated. We know how boring that one was.
I know. And I know that he, I'm glad she hooked up with Dave Struffolino, who took over for Jim Ross with the neighborhood association.
Yeah.
So, he was blown away by the number of people that were there.
Yeah, people do want to be helped. They want to find out what is available.
Right. They want to be able to ask the police or the fire questions.
Yes.
And that's the one good thing about neighborhood associations. They're there, and they want to hear what you have to say. They want to hear your questions. And it works out so much better, with everything.
Yeah, it does. It's easier to, in my estimation, it's easier to ask questions of officials when you're surrounded by your friends as opposed to going one-on the officials.
Right.
I mean, and
you ask a question, or you ask the whatever, and someone else might have the same question. It's answered.
Yeah.
It's answered.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah.
And then there are other people that they bring up things that a lot of people wouldn't realize.
Right.
I mean, not that I'm patting myself on the back.
Yeah.
I brought up issues that I have seen in what I did for a living.
Right.
And
yeah.
Okay. You really can't do it. Yeah, it can be done, but you got to do it carefully and stuff like that.
Yeah, like I said, we just kind of, like I said, that's why I'm glad, and we have a good rapport with the police and the fire.
Yeah.
So, in fact, I just sent over to let them know when my next meeting was. So I usually give them like a month's notice, so they know, and then I'll send out the notices this week. But
they speaking of the fire department, last Friday they did have their informational picket line in front of down at the central station.
Right.
And again, my philosophy is the same philosophy they have, and only I put it in a different thing. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah.
They have a system that works.
Yeah.
And I can understand their concern that, well, we'll be moving into something that the police are going to control, and they'll want us to do this, they'll want us to do that. And a couple of the police people I talked to down there, they said, hey, if they don't want to show up, fine.
Yeah.
Let them stay there.
Yeah.
But again, there's other issues they brought up. Well, how come LGH isn't going to be part of this dispatch center?
Which makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, I mentioned a few things to some people down there, and they said ultimately that's what they'd like to do. I mean, ideally, I would like to see a dispatch center for like the 4 communities around us. At least for the fire departments.
Yeah.
Lawrence is the only one that's the oddball. They're in a different frequency band than the other people.
Oh,
get everybody up there.
Yeah.
One band radios are cheaper than 2 band radios.
Yeah.
And I pointed that out, and one of them said, "Yeah, you're right." I mean,
yeah,
it is what it is. But again, whether it happens or not, they got a system that's been working for
79 years.
79 years, 78. So that was 19. Let's see, I'll be 79 this summer. They've been over there at the Broadwell Street that long. Damn. As long as I'm old. But again,
But like you said, they don't want it. So whatever.
Like I said, if it's
well, I noticed.
If it's not broke, don't fix it.
Exactly. So anyway, it's probably almost time to wind down. So we need to tell everyone tomorrow night.
7 o'clock. 7 o'clock.
City Council chamber. Wednesday night.
For better or worse, same thing. Only lot shorter.
Yep.
Lot
Yeah.
shorter.
Yep.
God knows what that one's going to turn into. I hope they find some executives there.
I just, like I said, I would hope someone asked the question, how did someone get a hold of it before? And that's the one thing. That's what really is scary. How did?
We know, you know, I know.
But it's sad because
1 plus
yeah.
1 plus 1 plus 1 pretty much equals 4.
Yeah.
With
Yeah.
all of the little pieces put together, like the old country religious song. Will the circle be unbroken?
Broken, yeah.
No, it isn't unbroken.
No.
It's there.
I mean, we guessed it right along, so we know. And it is what it is.
You know,
So you got to do what you got to do.
people that aren't interested aren't going to realize what's happening.
Right.
Those that are interested know why it's happening.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
so,
But
other than that,
but anyway, so like, we can just
we'll give you.
see you tomorrow. 200 Common Street.